All right, so I just wanted to let you know that whenever the government tried to kill me, then they used some kind of a scoring device, and then they applied suction cups, and whenever they pulled the windows apart, then I made an entire video about this, but the sound of the glass separating, it made the sound of like a reverberation, and so it was loud. It was loud. The neighbor heard it. He was like, "What was that?" But and the dog barked. I had its bark collar set on high. It wasn't barking at all, but it did bark over that. And just the stress of what was going on. But either way, following that, then they utilized music and the last 10 seconds of live to create just an alternative situation and trying to kill me directly, perhaps if he brings it on himself. And then they set up people at multiple different locations so that no matter where I went, that I would run into people who were there to kill me. I had to win people over. People were crying and stuff in front of me as I conducted this. Some old woman started crying whenever I was like brought up armed robbery because I knew it would endear me to them. And they were like, "This is a different kind of person," and then the lady just started crying. She just probably couldn't understand what the hell she was looking at, but it looked pretty fucked up. But anyways, but yeah, that was the government, and so following that, then someone, when I got in the shower, came in the house to try and kill me, and at that point, I had been developing intuition to evade death. That's the only reason I was alive, because I was hiding when they came for me the first time. And then I just continued to use that tactic. I just kept getting better at it. So by the time somebody was coming into my house while I was getting into the shower to try and kill me, see, I knew I picked up on it, that it was people that I used to know in Carrollton that I had grown up around. It's just a perfect mixture of almost knew me but didn't really get to know me, and just what I've been talking about, the violence. Anytime violence, you emerge from a violent situation and for some reason people want to kill you. But the point of the story is just just so many different things going on there. And so, but the girls were obsessed, and I worked hard to cultivate that. But yeah, it was just the way that they went about it. It was the fact that it was just not very well thought out. It was just some dude showing up in my house after he could see that I was getting in the shower. And when I started to perceive the threats coming from Carrollton, it didn't feel like a real threat. It felt like a nuisance type of threat, and something that it would never really threaten me, But just the biggest threat was to ever have to feel it, just to feel like what drives that, and like just and I know, I used to know, just all that. Oh God. That in and of itself was that was what I was worried about. And that's why I just turned the fucking thing off, because I was like, I cannot allow myself to be lowered to that level to just engage with some trash. You know what I mean? And so, but the way that they make me feel, the way that they've been making me feel lately is like, see, this girl had a bunch of other girls following her around the school, and they would all follow her to her locker and stuff. And they make me feel, see, this is the girl that almost had a chance with me, and undoubtedly I left these girls a bunch of whack jobs by the time I got out of there. And so, but the point of the story is just, it's just, they make me feel like there's this fucking whack job out there, and she's your worst fucking enemy. You know what I mean? Like, they told me the other day that her intuition goes so far out there, and that's what I'm picking up on. It's just, I'm just feeling that all the time. I'm constantly feeling just her but I don't think it's true. You know, I don't know what the hell I'm picking up on. You know, either it's something that I've cultivated, or it's a combination of them. It's both, or it's just them the whole time. You know, so